Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel, tap the notification bell, and like this video for me. It helps me to keep making videos, and I would appreciate it. There's some new information about the missing University of Utah student, Mackenzie Lueck, who went missing just over a week ago. It's actually just about almost 8 days ago. That's the last time she was seen or heard from was last Monday. She was on a flight returning from Los Angeles to Salt Lake City. Her family's from Los Angeles, and I think she had just attended a funeral for I think one of her grandparents. And so the new information is that and then she took a lift from the airport to not to her apartment where she lives in Salt Lake City. I guess off somewhere off campus of University of Utah, but she was dropped off at Hatch Park, which, as I understand it, which is pictured right there, and I don't know where in this park she was dropped off at around 3 in the morning. I think 2:59 in the morning. By a Lyft driver that she got from the airport, and she apparently met a person there who was waiting in a vehicle. So I don't believe this is the chief of police. I'm assuming it's a public information officer who gave a press conference earlier today, basically telling about some of these newer details, but also not revealing everything. Told of this, as well as took some questions towards the end of the press conference. I don't know that this is the entire press conference, though, because some of the stuff that's reported on here, and just a few things, I didn't see in this press conference, and I watched just about the entire thing. But he indicates that they don't know who this person is, but the Lyft driver told police, after interviews with the police, that she didn't seem to be in any distress, when he dropped her off, and that Mackenzie made contact with the individual, but I believe the Lyft driver never actually saw her necessarily get in the vehicle with this person who she met at Hatch Park. So he would not, I guess this public information officer, if that's who it is, I'm sorry, Assistant Chief Tim Doubt, that's who it is, would not reveal the gender of the person who she met there, whether it was a man or woman. They don't know who this person is, and they don't know the actual make of the car that the person was waiting for her was in, and so he wasn't prepared to give out that information. He said they're working to confirm that. I don't know how they're going to do that. I guess based on descriptions from the Lyft driver and maybe surrounding surveillance footage from surrounding businesses. They have some surveillance footage around Hatch Park from surrounding homes or businesses, but not from actually within the park of the Lyft driver dropping off Mackenzie Lueck and then her getting into a vehicle or corresponding with this person that she was meeting there at 3 in the morning. So I assume, that's going straight to there from the airport. So she must have had her luggage with her as well. So yeah, there's a timeline here. So at 1:35 a.m., Lueck's plane arrives in Salt Lake City at Salt Lake City International Airport. At 2:01, Lueck texts her mother to say she arrived in Salt Lake City. At 2:42 a.m., she takes a Lyft from the airport to Hatch Park, which is located at 50 West Center Street in North Salt Lake. At 2:59, she arrives at Hatch Park. So I think the assistant chief was asked about the time difference between 1:35, the time that she arrived at Salt Lake City International Airport, and 1 hour and 7 minutes later, she takes the Lyft. That's, I think, a pretty decent gap between her getting there and actually getting in the Lyft, and why that was. And it says that he couldn't elaborate, but that's one of the instances that I'm talking about that I didn't see him ask that question or asked to elaborate on that. But apparently, according to this report, he did. It says Doubt said that Lueck is described. Excuse me. He added that he could not elaborate on the gap in time, a total of 1 hour and 7 minutes between when Luwak arrived at Salt Lake International Airport and when she got into the Lyft. They have more or less cleared the Lyft driver of any wrongdoing. He's been accounted for, after dropping her off, after moving on to his next Lyft, and everything has been confirmed. So I think he's not being considered a person of any interest in anything and has been totally cooperative, as I understand it. So detectives have also interviewed family, friends, and acquaintances from school, checked locations where she was known to frequent. Doubt, the assistant chief, also listed other avenues detectives are exploring, including writing and serving warrants, checking social media, canvassing the area around Hatch Park to try and get surveillance video from businesses or residents, and knocking on doors around Hatch Park to see if residents have seen anything or had contact with her. There is surveillance footage from around the park, but not in the park. He was asked things like, does she have a history of mental illness or a history of drug use or a history of just disappearing? And that was no to all three of those questions. They even said that sometimes people don't want to be contacted, by family members. And if he literally sort of is speaking to Mackenzie, if she's out there and doesn't want to be contacted by family members for whatever reason, that's all. They just want to make sure she's safe. Detectives have spoken with the Lyft driver and learned that Mackenzie was met at Hatch Park by an individual in a vehicle, Dowd said. The Lyft driver left Mackenzie at the park with that person and stated that Mackenzie did not appear to be in any type of distress. Dowd said that the make and model of the car that she was dropped off at has not yet been confirmed, and at this time there's no description available of the driver. Dowd said said further details may be released once we have verified that information. She missed her midterms. I think that was reported previously, and I think I talked about that as well. I guess it was actually a midterm, even though you would think it's a final at this time of the year. But she also was supposed to fly back to Los Angeles on Sunday, so the day before yesterday, on the 23rd, and they've confirmed that she did not get on that flight. I believe she was supposed to attend a wedding, and I'm assuming that was back in Los Angeles, because she missed that as well, even though I don't think this is reported in this particular report. So, it says occasionally the police work a missing persons case where the person does not want to have contact with family or friends, Dowd added. If that is the case, Mackenzie, we are asking you to please reach out to either the Salt Lake City Police Department or a law enforcement agency where you're at. We just want to make sure you are safe, and we will respect your wishes. So, that remains a possibility as well. But it's been now 8 days, and I think even though they have no indication of foul play, or they're not expressing that, I think they're fairly worried, and the family must be worried sick, absolutely. But this is a new development that she met somebody at Hatch Park at 3 in the morning, after flying back from L.A. to Salt Lake City, but we just don't know who that person is. They don't know. They don't know who the identity of that person. So it's not as if they're holding it back, at least unless they're lying to the press. No, they don't. He literally says, we do not know the identity of that person. So that's a big unknown at this point. And that is the story there, man. That is the story there for now. Alright, thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.